the top, so how you feeling down there? Where did you think you could go? 'Cause everyone already knows it's 20 to 1. Yeah, so you better run. You got the world on its knees. You're taking all that you please. You want more, but you get nothing from me. You like the burden we bear. You love the hate that we share. You want more, but you get nothing from me. But it lasts.
What up, it's your boy Team Reaction. Today is Wrestling Wednesday, so watch check a video from WrestleMania. This is 10 more realistic WWE wrestling styles ever. Not too long ago, I did a thing about wrestling interest being important as well too, but selling a move is always important as well too. It helps you make your opponent look dominant. It's also funny and entertaining as hell. See somebody sell flat like a fish. Top one being The Rock when he sells the stunner all the time is hilarious though. So we're gonna take a look at some of these 10 most more realistic sells. You know, sometimes sells is while some do a little too much as well too. There's some sells that make it look real. And I'm looking at the thumbnail is Roman, and I literally made a post by saying it looked like the Peter Griffin meme. But other than that, let's get it. Oh yeah.
There's nothing more important to a professional wrestling match than selling. Even today, in an age where wrestling promoters are inviting the viewing public into the writer's room, the way in which wrestlers react to moves being dished out to them is vital to the structure of the match. Some wrestlers, like Shawn Michaels, at one time at SummerSlam 2005, are prone to going a little overboard.
I'm bad, let's keep going.
But others, they got it spot on. Join us now as WrestleMania looks at 10 of the most realistic WWE sells ever. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos. Number 10, Asuka's kick freezes Rhea Ripley. Although she's rarely given the chance to show it nowadays, Asuka remains one of the WWE's stiffest strikers, with a roundhouse kick being especially potent. Used as both a finishing and a signature move throughout her WWE tenure, the kick is always delivered with just enough force to emphasize its believability. But on a September 2025 Raw, Asuka pulled out her best round kick to date. Wrestling Rhea Ripley in what was ultimately a losing effort, Asuka used the kick as a great false finish spot. Her ankle connected cleanly with Rhea's head in the middle of the ring. Had the match ended there, nobody would have been up in arms about it. But the beauty here was in the way that Rhea sold a kick. Instead of falling straight back to the mat, she contorted her body, falling to her knees as her neck bent back. It expertly sold the brutality of Asuka's strikes, reminding fans that when given the platform to do so, the Empress of Tomorrow can be an assassin with her limbs.
Like I said, sometimes selling like that can help your opponent looks dominant. No, I mean, for real. And let's keep going.
Number 9, Dolph Ziggler becomes a ragdoll.
Always.
One of the most explosive sellers of this generation is Dolph Ziggler. He's long been praised for the way he flings his body around the ring, and this was no different when he walked into the 2012 Money in the Bank show. Competing in one of the two titular matches, Dolph Ziggler was left out to rot after being tossed out by Tensai. Grabbing the show off by the throat, the former Prince Albert chucked Dolph over the announce stairs without breaking his sweat, leaving Ziggler hilariously lying upside down on the leather chair. This is exactly how anybody would react to taking such a sudden impact to the body. To use the most extreme example, Dolph looked as though he'd been involved in a nasty car accident. Now, even though this incident occurred almost 14 years ago, Dolph Ziggler hasn't changed his wrestling style one bit, despite now being 45 years old. He spoke to IGN shortly after his Money in the Bank win in 2012, explaining why he'll never tone down his in-ring style. You know, all I can say is that I've always seen myself as an entertainer. I've always wanted to be a superstar and sports entertainer. And a lot of people ask me when I'm going to take it easy in the ring, now that I've been around for a while and gotten some fans behind me, or now that I've won Money in the Bank and won the contract. The answer is never. I'm never satisfied. I'm never going to tone it down a notch or just go through the motions. That would keep me up at night, and I already can't sleep at night. I go out there and do everything 100% every time. When I put my body on the line, it's to entertain the fans, because I have to. I have to be the best. And we also can't forget to mention Dolph Ziggler's incredible sell when Goldberg absolutely demolished him with the spear. Probably one of the best spear sells of all time. Number 8, stunning Bret Hart.
Oh,
But Bret Hart
yeah.
understood the art of selling better than anybody else.
when you
And
sell them
perhaps
chest
most
and
famous example of
oh.
subtle storytelling, the Hitman brilliantly sold his entire July 94 Raw match versus the 1-2-3 Kid with one facial expression, being taken aback when the rookie scored the first takedown. 2 years later, the 1996 Survivor Series, Bret's proficiency in selling was again displayed when he took on Stone Cold Steve Austin and got stunned without any pomp and circumstance. Austin grabbed Bret's head to escape a sleeper hold and dropped to a seated position, drilling his own head into Hart's jaw, leaving the excellence of execution clutching at his jugular just to let in some air. His selling of the soon-to-be legendary finisher was as though he was having a mid-match asthma attack. It's a sell that deserves to be discussed more when talking about the stunner. This one feels genuinely more realistic than others like The Rock flopping around the ring and Scott Hall's leap up into the air at WrestleMania 18, both of which aren't as realistic as this one. This one was a true stunner. Number 7, Penta spikes JD McDonough. Much like it was
Blockhead JD is definitely a good seller though.
When PT Williams was using it in TNA, Penta's Mexican Destroyer is always a delight to witness, with most of the joy coming from the sell. Almost everyone who Penta drives straight into the mat ends up doing a forced headstand, landing perfectly upright on their head, and some like Chad Gable will actually hold that position for a couple of seconds. JD McDonough had a different approach, however, when he fought the ex-AEW star on Raw's May 5th, 2025 episode. Having just missed his picturesque top rope moonsault, the Irishman, now bent over, was taken to the mat by Penta's flipping piledriver, and it looked as though his neck had crumbled in the process. The expert selling continued when Penta rolled him over for the pin, as his body looked genuinely lifeless. As cool as the Chad Gable example always looks, JD's selling is exactly how every move that compresses the neck should be taken. Number 6, putting Roman to sleep. A CM Punk's go to sleep is one of those moves that can be sold in a variety of ways. The most common is to simply fall backwards to the mat after being kneed in the face, while the second best go-to is to land on your feet, swing your head back for a second in dramatic fashion, and then just fall down. But one of the best reactions to the move though came in April of 2025 when Roman Reigns was sent to sleep. Having just invoked his favor from Paul Heyman ahead of WrestleMania 41, Punk got into it with Reigns, ending the segment by hitting the OTC with a go to sleep. Roman's selling in the move was
sort of like the Peter Griffin meme right there,
Punk's knee, and he followed it by swinging his body sideways to the mat.
Look like the Peter Griffin meme,
kind of like Peter Griffin. For a move that is supposed to be sending you to sleep, this is exactly how you should be selling it. Remaining on your feet for even just 1 second, or worse still, doing any sort of flip reaction like Evan Bourne used to, maybe takes away all the believability of what is still one of the most protected finishes in WWE. Number 5, taking out the boss. Adam Pearce was a great independent wrestler in his own right before he joined WWE in the early 2010s as an on-screen authority figure. His past tenure as an in-ring performer benefits his current role well, allowing him to get physical when required and looking good while doing so. The best example of this came during the pandemic-era SmackDown in January 2021. Forced into a gauntlet match where the winner would challenge Roman Reigns for the Universal title at the Royal Rumble, Pearce actually won that match, pinning Shinsuke Nakamura after both were taken out by Reigns and Jey Uso. For Pearce, it was a super kick from Jey that left him lifeless. Pearce sold a move like a blast to the heart, being unbalanced on his feet for a few seconds before he then collapsed. The WWE's production techniques while filming the assault helped massively, capturing the exact moment Jey's foot hit Adam in the mouth in a close-up angle before zooming out as he fell to the ground. It goes without saying that there's an overabundance of super kicks in modern wrestling, not all of which are must-see, but when it produces sells like this, it's must-see television. Number 4, a spiking RKO. Between the Seth Rollins one, the Evan Bourne one, the JD McDonough one, and everything else in between, Randy Orton's RKO has evolved into a constant cycle of jaw-dropping stunts, and has even become a popular meme. But sadly, that's resulted in this RKO of Ricochet flying under the radar, interrupting Ricochet's match with
this shit was so funny. He sold that shit like his neck broke.
2019
oh my god!
The Viper slid into the ring off camera.
He sold
that. A fantastic production decision, by the way, and legitimately spiked the high flyer into the mat,
like he broke his neck.
Not unlike a Penta Mexican Destroyer.
Jesus.
Pausing the clip at just the right moment will provide you with an entertaining visual of Ricochet's face being splattered across the canvas. Ricochet took the stunning RKO after having landed on his feet from a missed 450 splash attempt, and then doing a forward roll makes his impeccable sell job even more remarkable. Number 3, Kevin Owens finally does the package pile driver.
Oh, yeah.
But the latest in a long line of WWE signees who were forced to bench their finishing moves upon signing with the company, Kevin Owens' package pile driver was last seen in his Ring of Honor days, most notably in 2011's Final Battle, where he spiked El Generico, who may or may not transformed into Sami Zayn, with his pile driver variant through 2 ladders. This was an absolute no-no in WWE. There was an outright ban on all pile drivers. The pop-up powerbomb was an adequate replacement, but audiences longed to see the package pile driver once again, a desire that they got when WWE brought back Saturday Night's main event. Having failed to win the undisputed WWE title from Cody Rhodes, Owens ambushed the American Nightmare post-match and drilled him into the mat with his deadly finisher. The spot received audible excitement and concern for Rhodes, who sold a package pile driver as though a grenade had just gone off. His body went limp. For once, the fake stretcher job was very convincing. Number 2, cutting down the final boss. Adding the gut splinter finisher to his repertoire once he became the powerhouse of the Shield in 2012.
Oh, that's when he hit the spear on Roman. We know he hit the spear on Rock.
Though like many of the other iconic finishing moves, much of its prestige can be attributed to the sell job of the person on the receiving end. Dolph Ziggler, Shane McMahon, and AJ Styles are among the best takers from Reigns' history of using the move. However, at WrestleMania 40, an accidental spear to his cousin and tag team partner for the evening gave his spear its most realistic sell to date. Tagging with The Rock opposite Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins, an inadvertent collision saw Reigns slice through The Rock, who was seemingly aiming for an Oscar. He yelled out in pain as though he'd been struck by a truck. Roman's own reaction helped further nail down the intensity and impact of the situation, providing WWE with an easy video package shot should the dream match between the Tribal Chief and the final boss ever happen. And number 1, a security guard sells better.
Oh yeah! Is this the one with the crossroad? Yup! He sold that crossroad.
But some, such as Chad Gable, will take a different landing, spiking themselves directly on the head. This was a sell scene from independent wrestler David Goldie, who was hired by WWE to play a security guard during a late June 2024 episode of SmackDown. Helping break up the brawl between Cody, Randy Orton, Kevin Owens, and the Bloodline, Cody grabbed the cosplaying security guard and spiked him into the canvas, with Goldie subsequently bouncing off the mat and out of the ring. It was equal parts hilarious and vicious. Shortly after the incredible moment during a sit-down interview with Chris Van Vliet, Cody declared it as one of his best sells of his Crossroads ever. All I know about it is the kid trains at the Monster Factory. If anything, that was a testament to the Monster Factory, because I can tell, depending by where somebody puts their hand, what they're trying to do. I could tell, and brother was going for a header. I was like, you're gonna kill yourself here, bro. You know you didn't have to do it that way. But yeah, it's up there. Will we probably see the security guard in the WrestleMania 50 main event one day? But there you have it, folks. The 10 most...
Yeah, this is some good picks, though, for the sales, though. Definitely, that look realistic, though. I forgot about Pierce taking that super kick when he got forced to fight. That was pretty cool. Other than that, if you like my reaction, like, share, subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's your boy T signing off. One love.